Hello everybody, welcome back to the third part of 2 Stars 2 Sexy. I'm CU Fantasy and today I'm going to be reviewing the Wind Monsters. I like to start the day off with a wish, as usual, and yeah, I'm just going to wish today. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, there's like, they put 4 really good things here. Well, not really good, but it could land on this one. Oh, it's going to be the energy. Oh, whatever. There's that. Okay. Alright, there are a lot of wind monsters here. I'm gonna be as fast as possible and make this as short as possible. I'm really bummed out because earlier today I screwed up on my arena. I got like 8 wins in a row and I got really cocky. It was like 2 minutes from resetting and I decided to hit this guy. I was exactly at 1,300 ranking. And I don't know why I did that. It was so dumb. I was like, oh whatever. I got like so many wins in a row. I can't lose. I just hit him, and then I went in. I hit him, and then he had like crazy speed or something, and then he hit me and killed one of my guys immediately. And then I was like, shit, I'm screwed. I'm fucked. And then I was gonna like think of what I could do, maybe, you know, turn off my cell phone or something like that, but I was like, oh shit, it's too late or something like that. And then it ended, and then the window popped out like, you can't enter arena, like scores are being tallied, and I was like, shit. I'm like, I don't know, like 10 points away or some shit like that. And I lost 25 crystals. Yeah. Alright, enough of that. Alright, let's get on with the review. Alright, so the first monster I'm going to be reviewing today is Samur, the Wind Low Elemental. His leader skill is different from the Fire and Water one. His increases crit rate, and his first and second skill are still the same as the other ones. I don't think his leader skill is as good because a lot of monsters don't actually need crit, but all monsters will need to do attack and HP, so he won't be that useful when you're leveling him as a fodder and you don't have a leader skill, although he's still pretty good to level as a fodder. And as I said before, I would just put like full 1-star focus runes on him, and when I feed him away eventually I just leave the runes on, and that's fine. The second monster is Aileen, the Wind Fairy. I think that she's quite a balanced monster because most people just build her energy and fatal. Yeah, because all of her skills, even her heal, scales with attack power, so she can actually do a lot of damage and survive pretty well because of her heal at the same time. And as a bonus, her stats are pretty good too. Her HP stat. They label her as a support, but I would label her as more of a attack monster. Yeah. Ralph is the Winamp. I heard from like some forums that this guy used to be really good a long time ago. That he would be kind of similar to the Wind Imp, which just one-shots someone and then dies immediately after. I mean the Light Imp. And I think that from most of my research in the forums and the comments I read, that he's not that good anymore. He's kind of probably even a weaker version of the Fire Imp. So yeah, I wouldn't suggest building him. And Shannon. Shannon is one of the strongest monsters in the current meta right now. Like, everyone has a Shannon. All 3 of her skills are super powerful. Her first skill, she doesn't do a lot of damage, but her skills and effects are really powerful. Her first skill increases the chance of the enemy getting a glancing hit for 2 turns, and it's like it has no cooldown, so she could keep doing that when all her other skills are on cooldown. Her second skill decreases the enemy's attack speed, and the chance is really high, it's 80%, and it works on all enemies. So if you get her accuracy pretty high, she could just cast this and it'll hit like 3 enemies or something like that. And her last skill is her strongest skill, Pep Talk, which is a buff skill that buffs attack power and defense. And this works really well because all monsters need attack power and defense. So she's a monster that works well in almost all situations, and all her skills will help the team in a lot. Yeah. Recoja is the Wind Yeti. He's one of the strongest healers in the game. It doesn't actually say how much his healing does, but it heals for quite a lot. It heals for like 80% of most monsters' HP bar. And he's got 2 other skills that kind of support the team to go with his healing. His first skill decreases the attack speed of the enemy, and both these skills hit twice. So some people would rune him Despair to stun a single target. And his second skill would work even better because his second skill already stuns, and it would hit twice, and then it has a 30% chance to stun on each blow. So that's like 60%, if my math is right. Yes. No, that's not how you calculate ratio, but yeah, just it's 60%. You know, just it's good enough math. You know, we don't have to be exact. Gamma is the Wind Hellhound. I never actually tried to level one of these, although I've seen my brother play, and when he was lower level, he used one of these, and they hit pretty hard. They hit just as hard as the fire one, if not even harder, because his third skill, the lower your HP, the higher attack power. Although I don't think he's as good as the fire one, simply because he doesn't have the buff skill, and he is pretty much just a pure DPS, and that's not as useful in my opinion. The Rama God. Rama God is like his nickname that everyone gives him. He is just, people either love him or hate him. He is one of the best monsters in the game sometimes, but he's so easily countered, and so many people use him, so people will know how to counter him, that he isn't that good. He's almost just like the Water Warbear. He's got his first skill, like all warbears have this, and then his second skill, he heals himself and increases defense. But his strongest skill is, and what makes him unique, is his clean shot, which does damage based on the amount of HP that he has lost. So the strategy with Ramagos is just to get really low and then clean shot someone, and then afterwards it says you get an extra turn if the enemy dies. So if you kill that enemy, you can use crouch to recover some of your HP again, and then hopefully try to survive again to clean shot again. The way to build him is just to go full energy, because he scales the best with energy, and he basically has the potential to beat anyone that has lower health than him. That's what makes him so powerful, because you can have the strongest monsters in the game, and like a Ramagos will take you out simply because he has more HP than you. This guy, Horace. He's the Wind Elemental. He is he hits really hard as a pure like DPS character. His HP is super low. I wanted to level one of these to do the Giant Speed 10 dungeon, but I looked at his base stats and I was like, damn, this is lower than Shannon's base HP. So I decided to give up and level something else. His first skill is all elementals have this. If you crit, it does continuous damage, and his second skill is like it increases his attack power and critical rate, and also fills his attack bar. So it's like a self buff. This only buffs himself, not the whole team. His third skill is another dot skill, and then it does 2 more like continuous damage effects. I'll see how well I can do in the Giant Speed 10 once I get my team ready. But if I need to, I might level one of these and somehow build enough health for him to survive. I don't know if I can, but it might just work out. He is quite strong if you need a dot monster, because his dots will hit pretty much all the time, because if you build some crit and you use his second skill to buff, his first skill will crit a lot of the times and it'll leave a dot behind. And his third skill isn't a percentage chance skill, so it's base 100%, so not including the enemy's base resistance, but if you get your accuracy high enough, it'll almost hit like every single time. So he's a pretty good monster if you need a wind DPS. He's a lot stronger than a lot of the wind DPS monsters that are like 3 stars. Not the 4-star ones. The 4-star ones are just insane. Linderman is the Wind Garuda. He is a super stun monster. He's got 3 stuns. His first skill stuns with a 24% chance, and it increases. His second skill just stuns an enemy, so it's 100% chance base. His third skill is just stunning the enemy for sure. I'm not sure how sure it is, but I'm guessing it's 100% chance base too. So, or that maybe this stunning the enemy for sure means that it doesn't account for base resistance or something like that. I'm not completely sure, but from the looks of it, it's just probably just 100% base chance. So he's got 3 stun skills. He could be useful if you need someone that can like CC like crazy, but all of his stuns are single target. I'm not sure how useful that could be, but I mean CC is always good, so yeah, there's that. And then there's the Salamander, and then like Salamander is quite tanky, because if you've ever done the desert map, you'll know that the Salamander has this like remove debuff and heal himself, and he's got a dot skill, and then he's got one that weakens attack power, and he's a defense monster. So I was looking through some of the wind monsters, possible wind monsters with continuous damage. He's also a candidate because of his second skill, although because it's not that spammable, I'm not sure how useful he could be. Seal is the wind harpu. Her first skill is just like the other harpu, just kick someone and then decreases attack power. Her second skill is quite different because it stuns the enemy and it inflicts continuous damage, and it has increased accuracy for this skill. So this skill is actually really powerful as a single skill, just simply because it can CC and dot at the same time. And her third skill does damage to all enemies and decreases attack bar. She could be pretty strong if you need just an AoE monster and to build Despair, but I think if you have Despair runes, if you're building Despair runes, you probably have stronger AoE monsters than her. So she's not that strong early game, and late game there are more monsters that are stronger than her, so I'm not sure if anyone will ever use her. Yeah. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is... Yeah, all these Howls pretty much all have the same skill. Some of them have Dispel for the second skill. Some of them have Heal. The first skill is always the same for the Howls, because it increases the attack bar by 30%. The second skill is to remove all effects on you and the ally target and recover 20% of the HP. So what makes this different is that both you and the ally get the Dispel, but only you get the heal. So Chi-Chi doesn't have a single target heal, but it's a single target Dispel, which is quite different from Lulu's second skill, which is to heal both yourself and the ally, and you dispel the ally, so of all harmful effects. So it's kind of like backwards. And her third skill is to attack all enemies and then recover allies for 50% of the damage. Her base attack isn't very high, as you can see. So yeah, that skill isn't useful at all. Like, it's just a horrible heal. And although single target dispel is good, but there are a lot of monsters that have better dispels, like the Water Garuda or something like that. So yeah, no Chi-Chi, no. Walter. I'm currently leveling one of these right now. I have him at 5 stars, almost max level now. I think level 20 something, almost 30. He's a dot monster. He's got 2 skills that dot the enemy up, and his base HP is really high. That's why I chose to level Walter instead of the elemental, the wind elemental. One of the disadvantages he has is that his skills are all like his continuous damage is percentage chance to hit. So his first skill has a 30% chance to actually apply the dot, and his third skill is basically just almost like his first skill, but he fires 5 times at random targets, and they each have 30% chance to deal continuous damage for 3 turns. I find that I have his accuracy at almost 50% now. I have an accuracy rune on him that I haven't leveled really high yet. If I get that higher, I'm not sure how high I can actually get the skill to hit. Plus, I don't have all his skill maxed out yet, so the harmful effect rate probably isn't at its highest. Well, if I'm leveling one, I would obviously suggest one, because if you don't have Orochi, or if you don't have the Wind Raksasha to do Giant Speed 10, and you need a dot monster, then Walter is actually really good because he's tanky. He has a chance to apply these dots, and if you're building a survival team that can pretty much just survive forever, like they can take hits from the giant and survive and heal and survive forever, then Walter is actually really good, because eventually one of these dots will hit and the giant's health will go down slowly, and yeah, eventually you're going to be able to beat the giant. So he's quite strong if you have him now, and if you summon an already awakened version of him, I would suggest leveling him because he's quite strong for Giant Speed 10. Yeah. And Lloyd. Lloyd is the Wind Vagabond. You get him, everyone gets him at the very beginning. He is... yeah, I'm sure almost everyone knows his skills. His first skill, all Vagabonds have this. decreased defense, does damage based on his max HP. His second HP hits twice and decreases the target's attack power. His third skill is useful in some situations because he can reset the enemy's attack bar to 0, and this damage does damage based on his max HP. I tried this before. I had this guy actually awakened when I first played the game, and I didn't know, like, I thought he was a really good character, so I kept him around. But then eventually I foddered him, I think, when I got my Inugami or something like that. I think I fed him to my Inugami or something. Yeah, he was quite good. His third skill actually hit pretty hard compared to his other skills. So this guy is, if you had him in the beginning, you can keep leveling him, because he would be pretty useful in a lot of situations, just because he can tank, he can do damage, and he's got 2 debuff skills, which, well, 3 if you count lowering the enemy's attack bar as a negative effect or something like that. Then yeah, he's quite useful in that regard. So if you have one of these, and he doesn't take like a lot of essence to awaken, so if you like ran the wind dungeon a few days and then do the magic dungeon, and then you can just awaken him, you can keep him around. He's quite good. You can like get him to max 4 stars and then eventually fodder him away when you want to make a 6 star or something like that. So yeah, if everyone has him, if you don't have better monsters, you can keep him around. He's not bad. He's decent. And yeah. Well, that's it. Those are all the 2 stars. Thanks for watching, and I gotta end the video. Happy summoning and peace.